The defendant is facing multiple murder charges. I'll need to refer to my notes here.
Actually, Your Honor, that won't be necessary. I move to dismiss all charges.
On what grounds?
Regardless of Franco Quartermain's actions, he is not responsible for those crimes.
Enlighten me, Ms. Miller. If your client is not responsible, who is?
I'm so glad you asked, Your Honor, and I will be happy to show you. What the hell is that?
It looks like my 8th grade art
Your Honor,
project.
I hope you
we're not
flunked.
here to play show and tell. We're here to put the defendant on trial for multiple crimes.
A trial would amount to a gross miscarriage of justice, Your
No
Honor.
more gross than whatever's in that jar.
In this jar is the proof that Franco Quartermain, a.k.a. Robert Frank, is innocent. The true culprit, liable for all of that death and destruction, is not my client, but his tumor.
Your Honor, this is revolting.
Oh, now, this is my tumor we're talking about.
If that is indeed a tumor, and if it is a defendant's, it still has no bearing on this trial. It's a cheap, obvious stunt that absolutely reeks of Diane Miller.
And formaldehyde.
Ms. Miller, is it your contention that this so-called brain tumor caused the defendant to commit the litany of crimes for which he's been charged?
It is, Your Honor, and this tumor is the genuine article.
Are we supposed to take your word for that?
These affidavits, Your Honor, are from accredited neurologists. They confirm the authenticity of the tumor, that it did come from Franco Quartermain, and the site from which it was removed, without the malevolent influence of this tumor on his cognitive and sensory faculties, along with his personality. None of the crimes attributed to him would ever have been committed.
Your Honor, the defendant's crimes go back years.
Indeed. And medical analysis of this tumor has determined its existence predates any allegations of crimes done.
Convenient.
The tumor has been growing, Your Honor, bit by bit, insidiously. All these years, Franco has been at war with himself, a war against his darker impulses, spurred on by this tumor.
This man cannot be allowed to escape trial on a defense that his tumor made him do it.
I can cite precedent, Your Honor. Trichter versus the state of New York, Glicksfeld versus the United States of America.
Whose combined crimes don't add up to half of what the accused is charged with here.
Bottom line, Your Honor, my client cannot be held responsible for any crimes while he was afflicted. The charges must be vacated. He must be released. Release my client, Your Honor. Free Franco.
You really think this is gonna work?
Well, I can't take all the credit for dreaming this up on my own. There is a font of recent legal precedent and neuroscience that backs me up.
Approach. It would seem that your contention is not without merit and warrants further examination.
Then Miss Miller can make her case at trial. She cannot circumvent due process.
I'm attempting to do no such thing, Your Honor, merely to exercise my client's legal rights.
And what about the rights of Franco's victims? The ones he stands accused of traumatizing and murdering deserve their day in court. And their families deserve to be heard from.
I wanted as victims. I can tell the court what you need to hear.
Do you swear to tell the truth,
you and Carly?
the whole truth?
I'm getting along better-ish.
But
So
she
help
is
you God.
Carly, after all. She's about to save our case or ruin it.
I do.
I wish I could tell you, but right now, she's just a mystery.
Ms. Jacks, you stated you were one of the defendant's victims. Please elaborate.
Well, I'm not going to list all of Franco's crimes. It's in the file right in front of you. I can tell you there was no end to the pain that Franco caused my friends, myself, worst of all, my children.
It is Ms. Miller's position that the defendant's actions were caused by a brain tumor. And since it's been excised, he's no longer a threat to anyone. How do you feel about that?
I'm not a doctor.
No, but you've had dealings with the defendant before and after the surgery, correct?
I have.
Then can you attest to any change in his personality, positive or otherwise?
Yes, positive.
Then you are confident that your family is no longer at risk.
I have not observed any violent behavior.
Let me put it this way. Do you trust the defendant in the presence of your children?
No, I do not.
Your Honor, I must renew my objection for the defense's motion for dismissal.
Excuse me, I would
Your
like
Honor,
to...
Ms. Jacks was the witness that was called by neither the people.
Hey, forgive me. I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's just that Miss Jax has something to say, and I, for one, would like to hear it. Don't you want to hear what she has to say?
Ms. Jacks, you wanted to add something.
I do. I wanted to say that before the surgery, I witnessed behavior that I didn't think was possible. Guilt, remorse. Franco stated that he wanted to make amends, you know, tumor or no tumor.
For example,
when he found out his nephew had leukemia and needed a bone marrow transplant, Franco desperately wanted to help. The only thing he wanted more was a relationship with his daughter. She had been kept from him her whole life. And then after he found out that he couldn't help Danny, he also found out that his daughter wasn't really his.
and how did he respond to these disappointments? With anger or rage?
Both. But not against anyone. I mean, not that I saw at all.
What did you see?
I saw Franco at his lowest point, thinking about ending it all. Franco, this Franco, is haunted by the things that he's done. So when I look at him and I think about the monster he used to be, I just don't see that man anymore.
And yet you express reservations.
Yes, yes, I do. I mean, I see this and I don't understand. Did you choose to commit all those crimes, or did the tumor make you do it? I don't know. I don't know, okay?
As someone who observed